The Alien Combat Academy was known across the galaxy for training the deadliest fighters. Its students came from powerful warrior races, each with advanced weapons and brutal techniques. On this day, they were excited. A human was coming to give a live combat demo. His name was Renn. When he entered the training hall, the students stared. He wore simple armor, carried an old-style blade, and looked completely calm. Many laughed. "This is what humans call a soldier," one alien said. "He looks like a museum piece." But Lucas didn't react. He only bowed politely and waited. The instructor asked for a volunteer. One of the top alien students stepped forward, confident and full of pride. The match began. At first, it looked boring. Lucas didn't move fast. He used basic footwork, small steps, and short strikes. But in just a few seconds, the alien was flat on the ground, disarmed and groaning. The room went silent. The students were confused. Lucas hadn't used power, speed, or tricks. His moves were slow and simple, but perfect. One alien whispered, Did he win already?" Lucas stepped back, calm as ever. The instructor narrowed his eyes. This human was not what they expected. Something strange was happening here. After the match, the alien students couldn't stop talking. Some said Lucas got lucky. Others believed he used hidden tech. Maybe he hacked the training room, one suggested. But deep down, they were unsure. They had watched the replay again and again. Lucas didn't cheat. He just moved in a way none of them could predict. His steps were slow, but always in the right place. His strikes looked basic, but hit exactly where they needed to. The academy instructors also noticed this. One of them said, "He fights like he's not even trying, yet he controls the whole fight." To test him again, they arranged a 2-on-1 match. Lucas agreed without emotion. This time, 2 skilled alien fighters circled him, using advanced speed and combo attacks. Lucas moved with the same simple flow, calm, centered, patient. He let them come close, then used their own movements against them. In less than a minute, both aliens were on the ground, confused and gasping. The students stopped laughing. Some now stared at Lucas with quiet respect. The instructor walked over, watching him closely. "Who taught you this style?" he asked. Lucas replied softly, "My father." The instructor nodded slowly. There was more to this human than they had imagined. The academy's instructors were growing uneasy. They had seen many talented fighters, but none like Lucas. His movements were too simple, too controlled, yet they had an effect that no one could explain. It was unlike anything they had studied in their advanced combat systems. The head instructor, a battle-hardened alien from the Ferox race, called Lucas to the training hall once more. This time, he wanted to test the human's abilities under more difficult conditions. The gravity was increased by 50%, making it harder to move. The terrain changed: sharp rocks, slippery surfaces, and uneven ground. Drones with energy weapons were also released into the arena, tracking and firing at him from every direction. The students gathered to watch, excited to see if Lucas could still perform. They believed that with all these obstacles, the human would finally fail. The fight began, and Lucas immediately took a deep breath, adjusting to the heavier gravity. He moved more slowly but with perfect precision. When the drones fired, he dodged effortlessly, using the terrain to shield himself. His every action was calculated, as if he knew exactly where each threat would come from. The alien fighters and the drones attacked from every angle, but Lucas never panicked. Instead, he used each attack against his enemies. A drone fired at him, but Lucas ducked, causing it to hit a nearby alien fighter. Another drone aimed at his back, but he spun quickly, using a fallen rock to take it down. By the end of the simulation, every alien had either been disabled or outsmarted. The academy was silent. The students were in disbelief. They had never seen anything like this. One of them finally whispered, "He's not using power. He's using strategy. The head instructor's face was grim. He had underestimated this human. The head instructor, still in shock from the match, called Lucas to his office. He needed answers. The Academy had always prided itself on producing the greatest warriors in the galaxy, but this human was a mystery. Lucas stepped into the room calmly, his face showing no signs of exhaustion. The instructor studied him carefully. "I have watched many fights, but never anything like this," the instructor said, his voice low. "Where did you learn to fight like this?" Lucas sat down, looking the instructor directly in the eyes. "I learned it from my father," he replied. The instructor was quiet for a moment, clearly trying to understand what Lucas meant. "Your father?" he asked. "He taught you these techniques?" Lucas nodded. "Yes. It's not about the weapon, or the speed, or the strength. It's about using the right move at the right time. We don't focus on power. We focus on control, timing, and understanding our enemy." The instructor's eyes widened as he began to understand. This was an ancient human style, one passed down through generations, one that didn't rely on flashy technology or strength, but on the fundamentals of combat itself. "This style is simple," the instructor said, still processing it, "but effective. Why didn't we ever study it?" Lucas smiled faintly. "Because you were too focused on power and technology. You thought fighting was about bigger weapons, faster reflexes. But sometimes it's about being patient and knowing when to strike." The instructor's mind raced. He had seen many warriors from across the galaxy, but none with the raw skill and intelligence of Lucas. He now realized that the Valkyrie and other races had overlooked one crucial thing: the power of the human mind. "You may be right," the instructor said softly. "But there is something else about you, Lucas, something ancient. I feel like I've seen this before." Lucas didn't say anything. He simply stood, ready for whatever challenge would come next. The instructor watched him go, his mind still trying to grasp the depth of what he had witnessed. The human had shown them more than just a fighting style. He had shown them a new way of thinking. And it terrified him. The Academy had become a place of fear, though no one dared to speak it aloud. Lucas had completely changed the rules of combat. No one had ever expected a human to make it this far, and now, with each match, his legend grew. The final test was set, a full-scale simulation with elite alien teams against Lucas alone. This would be the ultimate challenge, meant to prove once and for all whether his style could survive the combined strength and skill of the galaxy's finest warriors. The arena was larger than any they had seen before. The floor was covered with traps, barriers, and obstacles that changed shape as the match began. Lucas stood at the center, his expression calm, eyes scanning the terrain. Across from him, 4 of the Academy's best students, each from a different powerful alien race, stood ready, their weapons drawn, their eyes full of confidence. They had trained for years, and now they were going to defeat the human once and for all. The fight began with a roar from the alien team. They charged at Lucas with speed and power, using advanced tactics, trying to overwhelm him. But Lucas didn't move fast. He moved smart. He let the aliens come to him, using their own momentum to trap them. He dodged their attacks just enough to make them collide with one another. He used the environment against them, luring them into narrow spaces, making it impossible for them to fight together. With every move, he gained more control, slowly turning the tables. One by one, the aliens were disarmed and defeated, not by power, but by precision and intelligence. At the end, Lucas stood alone in the center of the arena, breathing steady and calm, while the alien students lay defeated around him. The crowd was silent, not out of awe, but out of fear. The head instructor stepped forward, his voice barely a whisper. "You've shown us more than we could ever understand. But there's one thing we know now." He paused, looking at Lucas. "Humans are not just fighters. You are strategists, and that is what will change everything." Lucas turned and walked away from the battlefield, his message clear. This wasn't about winning a fight. It was about showing the galaxy that humanity was no longer something to be underestimated. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Underestimating humans was the last mistake anyone would ever make.